I got a quick question. How many things in your life charge you every single month? And I'm not talking about just streaming, but everything. Your phone, your home or your apartment, sometimes your car, your gym membership. We don't really buy things anymore. We just subscribe to them and they're all just a rental. But the conversation that I want to have today is that at some point, this convenience of having everything at our fingertips eventually turns into exhaustion.
Welcome back, sir. All systems for gaming will be prepared in a few minutes. For now, feel free to grab a cup of coffee and have a good day.
Hey everyone, Mike here. Welcome back to the Marvel Man Cave. And one of the things that's been on my mind, and I think it was the merger, or we'll say merger, whatever it's going to end up being, of we got Netflix and Warner Brothers and with Paramount in there. It really got me thinking about this because obviously there was a lot of, I would say, doom and gloom on the internet on what's going to happen to physical media. And obviously that's the realm that I probably am most passionate about when it comes to that, because there's a lot of other things, not to mention people losing their jobs when big corporations merge. But that whole conversation really got me thinking about what will happen to physical media. And the more I thought about it, the more I think it's not going anywhere. I do not think movies are going to go away, and I'll talk about why. But the big thing for me that really kind of pushed it over the limit is subscription fatigue. Everything wants your money. I initially was thinking about the subscription services that I subscribe to. Now I have a Netflix account. I get HBO through my internet provider for now. My wife has a Hulu subscription through her cell phone provider. I subscribe to Apple One for a bunch of other things, and I get Apple TV rolled into that. And then over the holidays, my wife subscribed to Hallmark. She got Peacock because she wanted something. And I just started thinking about all the subscription services that we had. But then I thought about the list of things that I don't think are immediately obvious that are still subscriptions. My house, the place that I'm sitting in, that's a recurring subscription. Granted, hopefully, eventually it ends. I don't have a car payment, but a lot of people do. My cell phone bill is a recurring payment. Home insurance, my transponder so I can get on the tollway to get back and forth to work every day. All these things require a monthly or yearly fee. My license plate for my car. There are just things that just recur and they never ever end. And if you're like me, you start asking, why am I always paying for something that I will never own? This right here, one-time purchase. There's no ads, there's no algorithm telling me what I might enjoy and when. There's no recurring revenue. This isn't going anywhere. It's on my shelf. That's why I don't think physical media is making any sort of comeback because of nostalgia or yearning for the past, but it's because we're all getting tired. I don't have a specific time in mind as to when all the subscriptions just started stacking on top of each other. I remember when, the iPhone and the Android devices first came out, you could just go into the App Store and you could just buy an app for like $2.99. It was yours. You didn't have to worry about it anymore. And then it stopped. And I get why, especially for some of the smaller developers, they sell you an app for $2.99. At some point, you have the app and you're no longer a consumer for them anymore. But if you want to keep that app moving and moving forward and keep using it and keep it functioning as the device, the software on these devices keep going up, you want that developer to live and to eat and do all the things that you want to do, and they're not going to get that if they've gotten $2.99. So I get the subscriptions and to how they kind of came about. And I'm not saying they're bad in any way, but when you get to places like Netflix and HBO, which may be one at some point, Paramount, Peacock, all these big corporations, crap, I'm even thinking about my treadmill. We had a Nordic Track treadmill before it broke. And the first thing on the screen upload every single time before I wanted to get in his run was trying to sell me the iFit subscription. Even your fitness equipment that you have in your house that I paid thousands of dollars for want a recurring fee. I'm not a person who just wants to use the treadmill. To them, I am a revenue generating machine. I'm starting to feel like a cow that's just constantly getting milked. And I think the annoying part of all this is it never ends. I don't ever pay enough. It's like insurance. You're never going to use it. Hopefully you never have to use it, but you can never stop paying it. If I want access to the movies on Netflix and things like that, if I don't own them, if I stop paying, it ends. All that goes away. And yeah, while it might not be expensive and you take it as the little snapshot, but how much have you paid for Netflix over the amount of time that you've subscribed to it? I've been a subscriber to Netflix, and it's probably since like 2005 when they used to ship DVDs to the door, and my fees have rotated back and forth on what's the level of service I went to. But I'm paying now about $24 a month because I have the non-ad free tier plan. And then I added my sister-in-law to be able to get her on it. And I'm not even paying for the top tier Netflix. I'm not getting the 4K. I'm just getting the 1080. You don't get Dolby Atmos and 4K and all that stuff with it. I'm just basically paying for like one of the tiers because I don't want ads. One of the things that Amazon did earlier this year is they started introducing ads to their service. And I believe it was you have to pay $5 a month to get rid of the ads. So they haven't changed anything on the service in terms of like you're not getting anything more. In fact, oh, I guess you're getting more ads if you want to look at it that way. If you like advertisements, maybe it's your dream. But I hate watching ads, especially in movies and TV shows and stuff like that. That was part of the reason I got rid of cable and things like that over the years. Like I wanted to stop seeing that stuff. So it feels like we're getting features and things taken away while this service gets more and more expensive. My Netflix has gone up just about every single year. Disney Plus has gone up every single year. Every month I get an email from Netflix about all the stuff that's leaving the service. In fact, this month I got a notification that the movie Face Off is leaving the service. I own that movie right here. I haven't watched it in a while because I actually owned the digital copy and I watched it sometime earlier last year before I bought the physical copy. But I bought the physical copy because it's a movie that I want to be able to revisit whenever I want to revisit it. More than likely, maybe it's going to the Paramount app. I don't subscribe to that. So if I wanted to watch this and I didn't own a physical copy, I would have to subscribe to the Paramount app. And I don't want the hassle of having to juggle subscription services like cancel Netflix one month and subscribe to Paramount and then cancel. That's too much work. I don't really want my movie watching habits to feel like an effort where I have to do something before I can do it. I want to be able to go to the shelf, pull a movie off the shelf, be like, I'm going to watch Face Off today, and not even have to think about where do I go. The only thing I have to think about is like, all right, where's the F's? And another thing that hit me this year is I was kind of doing my Christmas shopping and all that. I've noticed how big of a resurgence vinyl has had. And I know that's not new. I know it's been a while, but I've never collected vinyl. I didn't collect vinyl back when it was popular in the 80s. But that kind of got me thinking is like why I don't think physical movies are going anywhere. So I think like Steelbooks, boutique labels, limited runs of items. I know we had the Halloween set not that long ago that had a little bit of controversy in and of itself. The Nightmare on Elm Street set, I know that was a fairly limited set. That obviously is the way that the market is already going. And I don't see that going anywhere, at least anytime soon. I honestly do not think that if the Netflix purchase of Warner Brothers goes away, that means they will cease all production of physical media. Netflix has put out physical media items before, and I'm not going to get into all pros and cons of which one is which. As of now, the Netflix bid is accepted, but they're buying a whole studio that has the production capacity of physical media that Netflix doesn't currently have. So I think they're getting into businesses that they are not currently in. So I honestly don't think physical media is going to go away entirely, but I do think they will probably license stuff out to boutique labels. Maybe we'll see boutique labels expand and grow and produce more of these things because of that. This is not a video that is bashing streaming and saying cancel your Netflix subscription because I'm not canceling mine. I've toyed with it. I keep thinking about it. If anything, I may go down to the ad tier section at some point just because I don't want to pay the $25 a month. So I'm not anti-streaming. I'm not getting rid of everything today, but I do feel the fatigue of these monthly recurring payments. Every month when the stuff hits my bank account, I'm like, man, I keep paying for this, and it's endless. It just never stops. For me, when everything is rented, the ownership of something becomes more meaningful. It's tactile. It's something I can reach over and confidently say, this is not going anywhere. Jurassic World Rebirth. Probably not the best movie to use the example for, but I own this. It's not going anywhere. There's no one that's going to edit this copy that I own and make it better or worse. I own this. I don't have to worry about it. I don't even know what service this is available on or where I could get it, and I'd never have to think about it. I just know it's on the shelf and that if I want to watch it again, I can. So again, this isn't an anti-streaming video at all. So I would say if anything, this video is pro ownership and just kind of taking a step back and thinking about like, all right, what is it that I own? What is it that is actually mine? Yeah, I bought a digital copy of a movie, but do I actually own that? Or am I still beholden to a corporation, or in some cases, many cases, several corporations to decide whether or not I am actually going to own that movie. Can someone take this away from me at any time? And I really have very little to no power to control that. That's why for me, owning this stuff is important. And I would love to hear from you. What do you think of this conversation? Do you think physical media is going anywhere? I know there's a lot of stuff surrounding it, and probably every few years this conversation really kind of hits a peak. But I think we're kind of getting to a point where it feels more real when you get all these large corporations that are condensing down. I mean, Disney bought Fox, and so that condensed the studios down. Now we got Netflix and Warner Brothers condensing, and I'm sure that's not the end. There's going to be someone else who's going to. It's just there's always a bigger fish swallowing a smaller fish, and we're talking about trillion-dollar companies, billion and trillion-dollar companies at this point. I think us as consumers, we still have the ability to say, I've had enough. Stop. I don't want to keep paying for to watch my movies every month. I have to pay for my house or my apartment, whatever it is you have. I probably have to pay for a car, or if you do a transit service, you're probably paying because we all have to get back and forth to work because we have to pay for stuff. Life, death, and taxes might be the guarantees, but they're not the only things that we are kind of going to be beholden to until the day we die. But things like owning movies and music and records and anything that you like to collect, that is a way that I would say we can kind of claw some of the control back. You can put something on a shelf, you can put something somewhere and be like, that is mine. I can point to it. No one from a studio, no one from a record label is coming into my house and removing it from my shelf and saying, this is not yours anymore. I've decided to take it away. Whereas digital copies or streaming services or things like that, they can do that. They can be like, we don't want it on Netflix anymore. We want it on Peacock. We're going to put it there. I don't care if it's convenient for you. I would definitely like to hear what you think in the comments below. Definitely let me know what you think about owning stuff. And are you getting tired of subscriptions? Like, how many services do you subscribe to when you step back and think about it? And again, not just streaming, but everything. Are you getting as tired of it as I am? I would love to hear from you and to continue the conversation in the comments section below. But for now, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. And don't forget, collect what you love.